Jesus 911.
Virgin most powerful, pray for us. St. Joseph, terror demons, pray for us. St. Michael the Archangel, pray for us. We got a three-man car here. We got Dan Schneider. Dan Schneider would be like, this is like SWAT training, Eddie. You and me, we're street cops. We know how to navigate, but we got the watch commander riding in the car with us. This guy's the shot caller when it comes to healing, deliverance, and exorcism. He teaches this, and he's one of those. He's not only an academic. Here's what I like about Dan, okay? We're both boxers, so that's a cool thing. He served our country in the Army. That's a good. Hey, Dan, did you fly helicopters? Did you know how to fly helicopters?
Yeah, I was a Cobra gunship helicopter pilot.
Oh, that is so cool, man.
Yeah, I was cavalry officers. Yeah, we were the air cav. It's pretty cool stuff.
And now now Dan is doing the same thing in healing, deliverance. He's still doing air cav stuff right now. Hey, let's jump.
We're just scouting out the battlefield and reporting back to the commander. We're just finding out what's going on, and we're doing what we can do: reconnaissance missions, screen missions, attack missions, blowing up bridges, doing whatever we got to do.
Dan, one thing I like about you is you got a good handle on all this because you're finishing off your PhD, so you got that real academic side to you. I know because I've seen your essays, and I've had long conversations with you. You got that real wonky side. But then you're also a hands-on guy. You're also like doing this stuff like Monday through Friday, and part of a team out there in your neck of the woods. So you're also, right there in the field. You're not just writing about this or talking about this. Eddie, comment?
Yeah, that's what makes it so relevant, Dan and Jess, is that you guys have your hands in the Cracker Barrel. You guys have got it, and you're teaching it. There's nothing better than that because we're getting real time information from Father Rittberger, from you guys, and that's what counts. It counts real time information like what you're giving us. Thank you. Wednesdays turned out to be my best day of the week here.
Eddie can't wait till every Wednesday, man.
Yeah, exactly.
We got to change our tactic. That's the problem. We have to get battlefield, just like in a battle. You got to figure out what the enemy's doing and then counteract it. We can't just keep on moving. We can't just keep on doing the old like when we went to Iraq, they were digging trenches. We're flying over top of their trenches. They're digging trenches and putting oil in them. That's going to top stop an Abrams tank. Or a helicopter squadron, It's just we have to move our tactics and not stay and not. We have to adjust to the battlefield.
Absolutely, that makes perfect sense.
Well, that's what we're doing here.
Yeah.
We're adjusting based on the new, the information that we're getting from you guys at Liber Christo. So let's continue, Eddie. Here's another part of the article. If you want to share it and just have Dan comment on it.
Yeah.
This is by focusing
on demons, demon possession, and evil spirits. And by being preoccupied with casting them off through some rituals and occult practices, the church and her priests empower the demons themselves and advocate exorcism and deliverance excessively. Priests should focus on glorifying God and exhorting all to resist the evil in their lives as the scriptures exhort. A baptized Christian believer living in the light brought by Christ cannot be demon-possessed unless he allows it. All of you are citizens of the light and of the day. We do not belong to night and darkness. That's 1 Thessalonians 5:6 is what he's quoting here. And he says he can only be influenced by evils existing around. Therefore, being alert and awake, we ought to worship God and concentrate on him and not be chasing after demons. The one thing that I noticed about that paragraph is that in 1 Thessalonians 5:6, there's also a part of the verse talks about how Christ died for us. So there's a reason for that, apparently, right, Dan?
Right. Well, first of all, if you start to read a little deeper into the article, you start to sense a subtle Gnosticism in the author's take. That it's even again quoting Baptist scholars on demonology is a very dangerous thing because it's very Gnostic. It's this view that we have to live in a certain way or have the right mindset. There's no mention of sin. Saying that we're preoccupied with the diabolic is absolutely false. He goes even further to say, remember, when he talks about occult practices in this article, he's talking about what we're doing. He's criticizing us. He's saying that any priest, he's talking to his brother priest, this is a Trojan horse. This is a Trojan horse telling priests, don't get involved in this stuff, because what you need to be doing is social action. That's the postmodern church. You need to be in the world doing social action. That's where we're going to defeat the enemy.
So, in other words, Dan, social justice will drive out the demons, fellow priest. That's what he's saying.
That's it. We're all part of one human global family. There's no more borders. We need to embrace the new, you know what I mean? Someone needs to tell the demon that there's no borders and they can go anywhere they want. And it's don't ask, don't tell, right?
New rules of engagement. Yeah.
Let me ask you, Dan, a question. The priest said something that I disagree with here as well. He says that that people are they're advocating deliverance excessively. The priests empower the demons themselves. They're using occult practices, and he says he can only be influenced by evils existing around him. My point, he says that we're excessively fixated on this as Catholics. That's not true. Georgetown University put out a study says only 17% of Catholics believe in the devil. Only 7. So he says we're excessively. I can tell you, there's 198 dioceses in the U.S. We've only got 60 exorcists. So we don't even have an exorcist for every diocese. So this priest is saying that we're excessively fixated on this. Are you kidding? We're denying this. The top Jesuit of the world, Father Arturo Sosa, just said the other day, there's no devil. He's a symbol. So I disagree with this priest. We're not overly fixated. If we can say anything, we've ignored this problem for way too long. And people like you and the guys at Liber Christo, you guys are coming back and saying, hey, guys, wake up. This is a real problem. We got to deal with it. Eddie, you want to share the next comment there?
Yeah, let's do this. Right relationship with and faith in God, a personal experience of God is more important than casting out demons. Otherwise, there is the danger of becoming animists with post-modernity. One is prone to practice Christian magic, purifying objects, casting out demons in every turn, and looking for signs of hidden demons or satanic symbols, rituals, or curses. Let's just break that one down. That's Christian magic?
Yeah. When he's talking about animism, what he calls animism, we would call sacramentology, or the use of sacramentals, the use of the earthly, the use of creaturely objects. If you look up in Google today, Google the old rite prayer of blessing of holy water, or the prayer of blessing the St. Benedict crucifix. It's powerful. The new movement among liturgists, and actually the new rite itself, we no longer bless objects. We bless the person using it. Well, that's very much akin to Lutheranism. We bless the object because it carries the power and authority of Christ through the hands of the priest. This is not animism. This is Catholic theology 101. We've been using sacramentals, holy water. These are the guys that put dirt in holy water fonts during Lent for all those years, because we got to enter into the desert experience. We're entering into combat. We need our weapons. Jesse, I'm going to go kick some doors in, but I want you to be at one with the universe, so you're not allowed to carry a sidearm. You're not allowed to carry a battery ram to get in. But I want you to knock on the door and be real nice, wear your Hawaiian shirt, and be cool and kumbaya, and let's talk and reason with each other. No, you kick the door in and you take the bad guy down, because that's a spiritual combat.
Yes, it is.
Here's another thing he says. And then I want to get your take on it. He says, occult practices distract persons from true religious piety, from seeking after God. They're often deceived by their own gurus or spirit guides, leading to the extent that they despair of knowing whom to trust or what to believe, and are lost and left insecure. Consequently, these persons become dependent out of despair, and without rationality surrender blindly to the occult practitioners and do as they direct. Occult activity rejects God's will for men and women. God forbids it. It is an abomination to him. So I'm not sure if he's talking about Catholic priests or is he talking about occultists. I'm not really sure.
He's talking about Catholic priests, because in the paragraph earlier, he talks about Christians are dabbling with occult practices. He's going to priest fortune tellers. So in the previous paragraph, he had also talked about the occultism of Catholic ritual. That's occultic. Again, we're talking about a Gnostic. And then he goes on to quote Mark Bubeck, who was a Baptist minister, and then talks and then places the priest. Here's how he says it: the placing the priest before God. That's an absolute profound misunderstanding of the church's teaching of the priest in persona Christi. The demon walks into the room and he sees a lay team member, he sees the priest, he sees a consecrated religious virgin, he sees the three of us differently. He understands the power of the priest. To see a diabolic, possessed or obsessed person cringe at the picture of the local ordinary, the picture of a bishop, right? Just his own picture makes him cringe, because this priest or this particular the bishop has the authority of Christ right over him in this diocese, regardless of what his or her personal life might
Right.
be.
Yeah. It doesn't matter of their mind. Yeah.
On priest day, he has the fullness, and then the exorcist and then the priest underneath him have the authority. So this is an absolute inversion of a Catholic understanding of the priesthood. His sacramentology, it would be kind to say he has a low sacramentology. That's a nice way of saying it.
He wrote a low information article actually on deliverance and exorcism, right?
It's called it's a low information article. Yes. Yeah.
Eddie?
Exactly.
Just it is confusing because he's using the proper terms in order to confuse society.